Hi, my name is Ivey, and this video is going to cover some common classroom expectations and other questions that we normally cover on the first day of class. So let's get started. If you were to receive disability services, then you should have contacted the Office of Student Counseling and Disability Services. While there, they'll meet with you and evaluate any kind of accommodations that we need to make. They'll also write you a letter. You're responsible for bringing me this letter so that I can sign it and discuss with you any type of accommodations that you need for my classroom. What about cheating and plagiarism? You are responsible for creating your own work. Any type of willful copying or sharing of anybody else's work, including works found on the internet, is strictly prohibited. If you're caught, you and any other parties involved will receive a 0 for that project. You will not be allowed to make it up. Additionally, I'll report your actions to the Office of Student Success. The criteria for plagiarism, what counts for copying and cheating and not, will be determined by me. So if you have any questions or want to know if you're safe on copying an idea, just let me know and I'll evaluate it ahead of time. What about missing classes? For a class that meets twice a week, you can miss up to 7 classes. On the 8th absence, it's an automatic failure. This is covered in both the classroom syllabus and also the campus handbook. For a class that meets once a week, you can miss up to 3 classes. On the 4th absence, it'll be an automatic failure. Now, for my online classes, I don't take roll, but if you have excessive non-participation in any of the assignments, that will constitute an automatic failure. So what about excusable absences? Excusable absences are only things that are outside of your control. There are circumstances that you couldn't avoid. Some examples of these would be if you are on a class field trip, or if you're on the band or you're part of a sports team. Those are things that you knew ahead of time that you'll be missing class. Your responsibility is to let me know about these activities as soon as possible ahead of time. So if you have a surgery or any type of funeral event, please let me know. There are other types of emergencies that just happen in life. These emergencies can cause you to miss class, but you still need to let me know as soon as possible. Don't wait until weeks after the event to tell me that you had some emergency come up. Excusable emergencies are things like if you have car trouble, if you're a commuter, or if you have a sudden illness, or if you have a family issue to come up. Let me know as soon as you can that you're safe and that you missed class for an excusable reason. Here are some common things that I get that are not excusable. If you wake up with a headache or you just feel bad, I'm sorry you feel bad. See if you can take some aspirin and come to class. At least spend part of the time in class getting to understand whatever we're covering for that day. If you're really sick, then you need to go to the doctor. And if you go to the doctor, you can get an excusable note and you'll be excused for the day. Otherwise, suck it up and just come to class. If your family is in town, I'm glad your family has come to visit you, but your family needs to understand you are responsible for being in classes and also for doing any kind of class assignments and homework. What if you have work to do? I'm glad you're able to work. That'll help you pay your way through college. Unfortunately, right now your responsibility is to be a student, and if you have work that's conflicting with the class time, then you either need to contact your boss about working another time or find another class that doesn't conflict with your work. What if you have other schoolwork that you need to do? This is a very common one. A lot of times students get very stressed out and they have a lot of other assignments from other classes. You are responsible for keeping track of all of your assignments and keeping up to date with your work. Do not procrastinate on anything that has to be done, especially if you have to work outside of class. You're responsible for juggling your responsibilities. If you need extra time on something, come and talk to me. Maybe we can work something out. What if you're upset with me, or you're upset with another teacher, or maybe another student? If this is the case, that's no reason to miss a class. Come and talk to me, and we'll see if we can work something out. Especially if I'm in the wrong, I want to be able to apologize and work with you. If you have an issue with another student, definitely let me know so that we can work something out in an appropriate manner. The grades for my class. The art department has adopted a 7-point scale for all of their classes. As you can see here, this is the scale for A through D. To make an A in my class, it's 93 to 100. Most of the work that you're going to submit for my classes will be submitted digitally. Every once in a while, I'll have you print off something or do something that's not digital. In those cases, I'll let you know. To submit work, you'll probably turn it in on Moodle. If for some reason Moodle is not available or you can't use it, then you can email it to me, you can send me a Dropbox link, or use your Google Drive. Most of the assignments that I give, especially if they're due on Moodle, will be due at midnight the day that they're due. This means that if something is due on a Thursday, it's not due at the end of class Thursday, it'll be midnight Thursday. Again, every once in a while there will be some projects that'll have to be due at the beginning or the end of class, and I'll let you know. But by default, you'll have until midnight of that night to work on and turn in your assignments. What about late grades? You will lose 1 letter grade for every day an assignment is overdue. And this is usually 10 points. So for example, if something is due on a Thursday and you turn it in on a Saturday, again uploading it to Moodle, that's 2 days overdue. This means I'll take off 20 points. The highest grade you can expect to receive is an 80. This is in addition to any other things that I may count off for your work being incorrect. If you have any excessively late grades to turn in, the highest grade you can still make will be a 60. It's an F, but a 60 averages in a lot better than a 0. This means if you have an outstanding assignment, you can turn it in on the last day of class. You'll be able to get an F on it, but you'll get a better grade than a 0 on it. The point is, turn in work as soon as it's due. This is kind of the unforgivable sin for graphic design. And the reason why a lot of people make low grades in my class is simply because they don't turn in their work on time or they don't turn it in the proper format. If you don't turn in work, it will be recorded as a 0 in the grade book until the work is received. If you have any questions about what your grade is or what grade I've given you, please contact me in a timely manner. I'll be more than happy to discuss your grades with you. You are responsible for making up any missed assignments. I will not send out emails. I will not hound you for work. I'll simply give you the grade that you've earned. If you have an excusable reason for missing class, however, especially if you're missing class on the day something is due, then I can give you some extra time to make it up. If you've been sick and you've missed a lot of class, it's only fair to give you a little bit more time to finish classes. Again, it's your responsibility to meet with me about making up these missed assignments past their due date. So where can you find your grades? At any time, you can log into Moodle and access your grades page. I'm not always the best about updating grades, but that's usually the best place to go first to find the grade that you have. Assignments will be graded as soon as possible, though they won't be posted the day that they're due. What about classroom maintenance and printing? You are responsible for anything that you bring into the lab. Any materials, books, bags, and food. The Department of Art will not be responsible for any items that are lost or stolen or otherwise damaged. Any work that you created should be saved on a folder with your name on it. From time to time, we'll go through each of the computers and we'll erase all the files that are on the desktop and in the Downloads folder. Only files that are saved in a folder with your name on it will be saved and not erased. I highly recommend saving your work in both a classroom computer and also to a jump drive. This is the best way to ensure that your work will not be lost or damaged or otherwise stolen. Additionally, it's the best way to ensure that you have your work with you. You don't have to run home to get a jump drive. You haven't saved it on a computer that's not yours. And also, someone hasn't stolen it or otherwise erased it. Having a backup of your work is just a smart professional move. You can bring food and drinks into the Mac lab, but they're not allowed next to the computers. If you need to eat something, please either eat it before class outside or bring it to the table in the middle of the classroom and eat it there. Also, please try to keep the room as clean as possible. Throw away any trash or paper and take any materials with you. This includes throwing away stuff that other people may have left that's obviously trash. I'll also add this note. If you find something that somebody's obviously left, like a jump drive or a book, bring it to the teacher and we'll keep track of it up at the teacher's desks. As far as printing goes, the MacLab printers are to be used for graphic design projects only. Do not print anything from other classrooms or especially for personal use. Every semester, you're given a budget for things that need to be printed. Literally, you're paying a lab fee that covers the cost of ink and paper. There's a cost for printing everything that we do. This cost may depend on the size and the amount of pages that you need to print off. But your cost is deducted from your lab fee. We use a program called PaperCut to keep track of who is printing and how much that you're printing off. When you print something, you'll be asked to log into PaperCut and it will deduct that amount from your PaperCut account. It depends on what semester that you're here, but you can log in and check your PaperCut account. If you run out of money, then you're not able to print in the Mac lab. I will say this, it's cheaper to print something in the computer labs or in the library than it is to print something in the Mac lab. If there's a problem that you have with something that you've printed, or you feel that you're entitled to some sort of refund, please contact me as soon as possible. I am able to give you a refund on any item that is either misprinted or otherwise didn't come out the way that you feel it should have. What about some publicity? The Department of Art has an active Facebook page and a website, and from time to time we love to photograph you and your work and to show off the things that we're doing in our classroom. The reason we're doing this is to promote the Department of Art and also to be used in publications. If for whatever reason you don't want your picture or a picture of your work to be published online or used for anything, just let me know and I'll be responsible for removing it or just not posting it. There are comment boxes located in just about every classroom in the art department. These boxes give you the ability to give us feedback in an anonymous way. If you feel like there's something that you need to let us know, but you don't want to put your name to it, you can write your comment and leave it in the box. I don't read these. Our department secretary will come around usually once or twice a week, collect everything, and she types them up. We take these comments and we read them during our faculty meeting. Some of the best improvements that we've had for the department come from the comments that are left by students. Finally, if you want to find more books or any other resources related to graphic design or things that we cover in class, there's two places you can go to besides the main Speed Library. You can go to the Quinn Library, which is our art department's library, located in Avon 410, or you can go to the Avon Mac Lab. That's where I've pulled out all of the old graphic design textbooks and other graphic design related books and other graphic design resources like clip art and other things like learning about the software. Finally, the best way to contact me is through email, not through phone or even trying to track me down. If you send me an email, I check that very, very often. I try to respond to most emails within 24 hours. So if you don't hear back from me, try sending me another email just as a reminder. If you do need to contact me and meet with me in person, you can find my office hours posted on my office door in Avon 400D. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to contact me anytime.